Let's get it underway then. Ladies and gentlemen, Beyond the Rift episode number 34.
Oh, you're a little bit away from the mic. They can't hear you. You cut off.
Episode number 34. Yes? Do you even do you even remember what episode we're on?
I legit lost track of the episode.
I lost track too. Why do we even...
We're above 25.
Yeah. New episode of Beyond the Rift today. Let's just fucking use that every time. With your host, I'm a cutie pie, dude. The man that shoved Doublelift out of solo queue solely. I'm the sole reason why he had to run back to LCS. Your host with the most, I'm a cutie pie. Scar, what have you managed to accomplish?
I have managed to lose my last two solo queue games in sparingly fast speed. That's incredibly fast.
That's an accomplishment right there, baby. Good stuff on that one. Give a shout out before we get this thing underway. Discord, amazing chat service. If you love chatting and you love having friends, best of both worlds on Discord, dude. Hop on the Beyond the Rift channel. You got a lot of like-minded individuals that are going to want to talk to you about whatever stuff that you like talking about. You like anime, video games, whatever the fuck you like. I don't know you guys. You know what you like. And then, you can chat there and do all that shit. And then make sure to get on the live question and answer session that happens at the end of the show. And I want to give a shout out also to the bloody manufacturers, because they're making the best peripherals in the gaming scene. If you never heard about Bloody, dude, you might have heard about Razer, garbage. You heard about Bloody, amazing. That's all that people say about Bloody, amazing. They're rock. Thank you, Bloody. All right, let's get this thing underway, Sky. Let us begin with topic number 1. Straight to the point, dude. NA's second best ADC, Doublelift, has joined Team Liquid alongside former P1 support Adrian. What are your thoughts on Team Liquid settling for their second choice? This is a great question that you came up with, Scott. I like this one a lot. These are the kind of questions you need to be coming up with more often. Not that stupid shit you've been coming up with. So I'm gonna say, I think Team Liquid looks a lot better than they used to. They're definitely not a 10th place team. Wait,
Whoa. What are you trying to say about Youngbin, dude? Come on, I saw that tweet you had about him. What are you going to say?
I was going to say Youngbin, he's a really good up-and-coming superstar, but he's still up-and-coming. He's got a lot of up-and-coming to do before he gets there. What do you think of Youngbin?
He played terribly.
Yeah, I was watching him play. I'm like, this guy has never fucking played these champions before. He knew how to ult with Jhin and W with them, but he was just miles away from the team fight. He'd join into the fight when it's already lost. Everyone's peeling back. He's like, I'm going in, I'm flashing in. Oh shit, everyone. Yeah.
That Ezreal play at Dragon where he was flashed over the wall, I was just like, oh no.
Dude,
not this play.
Yeah, I'm all about up-and-coming talent, and I hope to see more of Youngbin in the future if ADC is what he wants to do. But he was definitely not ready. He was not prepared for that role, dude, because, he played suboptimal at best. I think we can all agree that was some suboptimal ADC gameplay, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I think with Doublelift, I actually like this team a lot. I think that they're pretty good. If Doublelift can still shot call like he used to, I'm not sure how the structure is with that team right now. Do you know anything about it?
I have no idea, but their plan is that they're just playing around their top side, right? And so I assume that the top side just does everything, and it's like the old Immortals is. I remember where you just play top side and then the bot side just exists.
Yeah, so do you think Doublelift Shotgun is going to come into play here at all? They're just going to say, all right, we got you bot lane, we're just going to stay top lane, fuck off, dude.
Yeah, I think I don't know if it'll be like that anymore, because Doublelift's eyeballing really dangerous champions, and his playstyle has never been really to just take it, he wants some of the pressure sometimes too.
Yeah, he wants, Doublelift's the type of, this guy, he needs resources funneled into him, Because he's just god awful without him. And like, if you give it to him, like maybe he can do something with him. So I think that if they focus his lane, I think he's better than most ADCs in ALCS. I don't think that that's that much of a stretch to say, right?
Oh yeah, dude. I actually put them like top 4. Like I listened to the AD carries and I was like, huh. He's probably still top 4 in terms of ADs in
wow,
LCS.
Top 4? Who's above, like Arrow,
Stixxay, and potentially Sneaky. Like I haven't seen Doublelift play competitively in a while, but I think he's in that tier of players, and like that's still really good.
Do you really think he's just gonna not be able? Like, I still feel like he not playing competitive. Like people say that competitive is different from solo queue. It's different, like communication wise. Like it's just like no, like Sneaky isn't gonna do something on Jhin that's some fucking random challenger solo queue players. He just knows how to do it. Not stupidly. Like he knows.
Right, but it's like a 2-man lane, right? Like Arrow looks like a lot of times the best AD in the league, but even he loses a ton of laning phases because I thought him and Adrian didn't have good teamwork. And I thought the same thing about Piglet and Matt, right? Piglet and Matt, like, oh my god, that time when Xpecial just like smacked them silly and got like 3 solo kills in lane, or I guess, yeah, they died 3 times in lane. I don't think Matt's been playing like at a good level this split. I don't think Piglet AD was at a good level either. And then like when Piglet performed worse, Matt didn't look any good either. So it's like it's 2 people in the lane, right? Yeah. I'm sure you know what it's like to play with an AD that's not performing very well. And so if that's the case, then can the AD really pop off, especially in lane if the support's not playing well?
So what do you think of Adrian then? So basically you're saying it's not on Doublelift to perform, it's on Adrian?
The thing about that is, like, from what I understand, Doublelift just did an interview this morning, or got released this morning, about the team, and it sounds like Adrian's only coming in if Matt plays really bad. So, like, as long as Matt's playing, like, average, like, okay, they're not going to replace him until next split. So, with Matt, I think that, I don't know, like, I think right now his current form isn't very good.
So you think they're going to replace him? Like, let's just be honest, because he's been having some rough games, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he gets replaced, but in terms of laning, I don't think Adrian's super good either. Like,
yeah,
that's the problem. It's like even if he does get replaced, he's not getting replaced like a superstar laner. It's not like you're replacing him with like Smoothie or something like that, or like Afro, or one of the like really top supports. It's just like he plays team fights well, mid game well, and he does his job. That's how I see Adrian. And so, not really sure.
Yeah, because Adrian, like for me, Adrian's not like the type of player like, oh my god, he flash hooked on Thresh, he just did it like that. Wow. It's like, oh, he got his exhaust on someone, he just like ran around and did what he was supposed to do.
It's like, you're like, okay, well he played Soraka, he had a good heal there, a good ulti, and he exhausted the assassin. Alright, they won a team fight. But like, not to downplay his like ability to play team fights, but it's just he's not the flashy player. You don't think of Adrian as like the god like initiation playmaker. He's like the guy who just fits into like a team.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. I mean, I'm excited for this round. I think that like what do you think? You think they're still going to be 10th place? You don't think that?
No. Yeah. This team right now is like I would put them around 6 with like potential to move anywhere. And so I'm really excited because I think that like the Piglet's like a pretty good upgrade mid lane, and then
yeah, Piglet's been doing like really like I was surprised. I mean that like Froggen.
I was gonna say Froggen.
Yeah. Okay, those. Yeah. But I mean, aside from that, like what was his first game? It like looked pretty good.
Oh no, his first years is super good, but yeah, Froggen just like put him in the dumpster. Like
yeah,
really
that was a rough one.
But no, I think he's been looking okay, and with Doublelift, they're gonna be good. That like I don't know if they'll be able to make the playoffs, but they're not really here to make it to the playoffs, right?
Yeah, I think here to survive relegation.
Exactly, I think there's a good chance that they get 8th place. Like I'm probably putting that their end of the season is going to be around 7th place, up or down 1, and I think that's pretty reasonable, and that's all their organization needs because, yeah. Only the bottom 2 teams get relegated now. So as long as you're at 9-10, you don't go into relegations.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way that they're going to get relegated. Even if they went into relegations, I don't think that, like...
Yeah, and that's exactly how Steve thinks. If they get into relegation, who is beating that lineup? even Gold Coin United with like Mad Life and like Phoenix, I don't think could beat that lineup.
Yeah, so, like Mash Me, Mad Life versus Doublelift, Adrian or Matt. I don't see that. I don't see them getting relegated. What do you think of that though? Because there was like a bunch of people talking about how that's bullshit that they could like all the secret societies working together to stop Team Liquid.
Oh my god! It's literally just common. Like, I just think it's normal. It's like, okay, if you're a business that's going under, would you sacrifice a lot to make sure your business stays afloat? That's literally the question I'm asking you. So what happens if any of the big orgs drop from LCS? A lot of the orgs, minus I think COG, is backed by investors. So COG, TSM, and I think even C9 has like $5 million in terms of investors. A lot of investments, like I think a lot of the investment is tied into the fact that they stay in the LCS, because a lot of the investors are waiting for franchising, and when that happens, that's when they get their like exponential investment back. And so if they drop out before if franchising comes, they lose all their investors. So for them, it's just a business decision. All right, we gotta stay in the LCS or else we're done. Like, we don't exist. So what is gonna make us do that? Doublelift, here is a pile of money. Like, here's a blank check, just writing the amount, we'll add a zero at the end, and that's what we'll pay you to play with us for 3 weeks. And he's not gonna say no, because it's like the easiest paycheck he's made in his life.
All right, fair enough. I mean, like I said, I'm excited to see this roster. I think, especially with how the bot lane meta is like shaking up too. Are they going to be playing on this patch?
I think the patch is released, right? So it takes 1 week for it to roll over to LCS. So they're not playing on 7.5 this week. They should be playing on it next week, unless I'm mistaken.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited to see like what he does on, because I think this patch is pretty interesting in terms of AD. So,
oh yeah, I definitely do. Which segues into our next question.
Yeah. Let's go to the next topic. Many players have been remarking about how good Draven is at the moment. Is the champion actually really that good? So talking about that, I didn't think Draven was that good last patch, but I think this patch he's actually like. You could get away with playing a lot of shit right now, because a lot of the ADs just got dumpstered for no fucking reason, because Riot's just stupid as fuck when it comes to balancing. So like you can just do what, like I've been playing Kog'Maw, I've been playing Mordekaiser, I've been playing Lucian. I don't think Lucian's good, but like I know all of these champions would have a hard time versus a good Draven. And like I've been doing pretty well, so I've yet to play against a good Draven. But I think Draven would be amazing in this meta right now. Especially with, like, Exhaust getting nerfed too, so he doesn't just get fucked on the all-in. Like, that was just, like, I was dueling with someone, and I was talking to them about why Exhaust is such a pain. Like, they were like, oh, as an AD, Exhaust nerf just, like, ruins my role, because now I'm gonna get assassinated. But, like, what ruined the role was, if you played AD, you could only play things with range, because the second you get in range to all it, you're going to get hit with an exhaust, and then you're just worthless. So, like, Draven can actually be played now, because even if he gets hit with an exhaust, his, like, attack speed, his armor and MR isn't shredded. He doesn't just become, like, a worthless champion. He can still, like, combat people and do stuff. So, I'm pretty excited to see how Draven pans out.
Oh, this is a scary pick. I always think of Draven as like the solo queue pick, right? This is a pick where like the Tyler ones, like the Ty Dravens, like these one trick Draven players like come in and they like abuse ADs who aren't really that good. Yeah. And then when they play against like LCS players who know how to play Caitlyn, like they just feed. But it's scary to me that the champion is actually pretty good. Like the nerfs, how big was the whatchamacallit, the nerf to Jhin and MF?
Wait, what was did Jhin actually get nerfed, or was it just DFT that got nerfed?
It's the Deathfire touch. Like, they nerfed it from, like, 0.6 to 0.3
yeah,
in terms of AD.
I haven't tried Jhin out yet, but I'm sure that he's still meta, honestly. I don't think that nerf, like, matters at all. Like, you're either gonna run DFT or Warlords now, or hell, you could even go, like, Thunderlords or that other thing, Storm, like... Jin's kit is just way too fucking overloaded. I'm sure that he's gonna still be meta. But the thing is that matchup, Jhin versus Draven, is actually pretty hard for Jhin, because you have 4 shots, if you don't kill him in those 4 shots, he's gonna run your ass over. Like you're just gonna die to him. And like without a mage support to back you up, like if a Thresh lands a hook, if you don't kill him in that Thresh hook, like the Draven and whoever his support is just gonna run you over. So I'm pretty excited to see how it pans out. I think Jin's still good. I think Varus, I haven't tried him out yet, but those nerfs look pretty rough for him. They look pretty unfortunate. It was like a 4-second cooldown increase on his Q. And you have to like hit the Q now to have reduced cooldown or some shit, so you can't just spam like a monkey. And Warlords getting nerfs makes it so you don't have that much sustain in lane anymore. I mean, it's still like okay sustain, but it's not really that great. So I think Varus, I don't think he's that good. I think Jin's really good still, but yeah.
How do you think about the AD position right now? Like, you've been playing it a little bit. Like, is it easier to get all-ins? Is it like, do you feel like it's better?
I love it right now, dude. Like, every time I talk to someone about AD, they're like, this role sucks, dude, and all this shit. Like, I'm telling you, AD sucks if you just suck at it, or if you want to just play stupid shit. Like, if you want to play Jinx, yeah, the AD role sucks because you just want to feed, basically. Like, if you want to play Kalista, yeah, the AD role sucks. But if you're playing things that are, like, somewhat meta, I think that the role is pretty good. Exhaust nerf just opens up so much more to being played bottom. And, like, Mordekaiser is another really fun champion that's, like, been opened up bot lane because a lot of things have been getting nerfed. So, I'm pretty excited for playing AD right now. I think that it could use a little bit of a buff because right now, like, everyone runs ninja tabbies and it's just the stupidest fucking thing.
But I talked with a bunch of ADs and I'm not sure. But let's say ninja tabbies gets nerfed, like from like 12% to 6%. Is the AD carry role like in a decent spot at that point?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think that it'd be that bad. I think Mages got a lot of nerfs, so I could definitely see like Threshes and tanks like coming back into the meta, so it's a lot more AD oriented instead of the support 1v2ing the lane with Zyra and just like forcing you out. And then, I don't know, I have to try it out more. Like right now I'm just playing on a Masters account, so maybe when I play on my Challenger account and I play against Jin every fucking game, I'll realize like, wow, I just need to be picking Jin because he's just stupid as hell still. But like on my Masters account, I've been playing again Mordekaiser, Lucian, Kog'Maw, and all of them have felt good. Like Kog'Maw, I'm pretty sure, I'm almost positive that he's probably OP. Mordekaiser, I'm almost positive that he's OP. Lucian's dumpster trash still, but that's fine because he's fun. So I don't know. I just have to wait and see. But I think Draven definitely, in the hands of someone that's good at him, he got a huge buff this patch.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
all right.
I'm excited to see because if Doublelift does bring it out in LCS, I don't know if people will have like practice against it. I don't know how much people play solo queue to really play against it. So
yeah, I think if he pulls it out, because I think the AD position isn't super strong at the moment. If he pulls it out against like a weaker AD role or in the role, then it'll be a massacre if he gets jungle pressure.
Yeah, he'll just smash him. Like, Draven's pretty unforgiving if you don't know how to play against him. So he's like Yasuo of bot lane. Like, if you give up one kill, you're gonna get smashed. So let's go to the next topic. So FlyQuest last week played Morden Blitz in an LCS game, with Morden getting banned in the following series. How good are both champs at the moment? All right, so segue into the next topic with Morden.
It's like I knew what you're going to answer with.
I like that, Sky. It's like this whole thing scripted, dude. It's like this is pre-recorded and you're not watching it live at the moment. But so, Mordekaiser Blitz, I love Mordekaiser. I think he's really good right now. I'm pretty sure he's only good with Blitzcrank. If you play that shit with anything else, it's just terrible. Like, I was watching, what was it? It was FlyQuest versus Envy, right? And they did one game of like Mordekaiser Nautilus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got smashed in lane if I remember right. Like I'm pretty sure just
they got 2-0'd in lane, and then like what happened was they fought a bot lane skirmish where it went. The other team was I think 4-0, and it ended the skirmish. It was 4-5. I was like, wait, FlyQuest just shit on them in this skirmish.
Yeah, it's because they bought the ninja tabbies, dude. As soon as Mordekaiser, like this is what I do on Mordekaiser. First item Ninja Tabbies. I just buy first item Ninja Tab. I become God in bot lane. Like, I'm just unkillable. My health is like, I have like 700 health. And I just face tank the enemy ADC like he's nothing. Like, Jin just keeps 4. He just keeps whipping out the bullets, dude. And it's just like, they just get deflected off me, dude. Like, they're fucking nothing. I love Mordekaiser right now. But I'm almost positive he's only good with Blitzcrank. Like, you could make him work with Nautilus, but it's a pretty janky lane, in my opinion.
Dude, what do you think about Blitz though? Like, so my time block, which is similar to yours, I play with Scrandor a lot. Like, literally to the point where I was like, is this guy stream sniping me? It was in 4 or 5 of my 10 games I played that day. And I was just like, what do you think about Blitz? I'm just curious.
I don't think he's that good. I mean, Scrandor, he was like a top 20. He lost all of his games recently. I think he's like top 150 now or some shit. Actually, let me go look it up, actually. Now you got me curious, because I think Scrandor is pretty good at Blitzcrank.
He's like 73. He's like 500 LP. 550.
Okay, he's 73. Yeah, he's been losing a lot of games. I think Blitz is good, but the thing is that he's good against people that obviously don't know how to play against it. Like, that's what all these, like, kind of random picks that people have been saying, that's what they abuse. Like, Mordekaiser, Blitzcrank, if you don't know how to play against these champions, you're just gonna get pummeled to death. Like, Blitzcrank, you need to hide behind the creep wave, and you need to know when to get the fuck off of the wave and just run away, because he's gonna run you down and just hook you. And a lot of the situations, like when you're versus a good Blitzcrank, he's not throwing a 50-50 hook, he's throwing a 100. Like, you're gonna get hit by it. It doesn't matter what you do, because he's just gonna walk at you. The second you walk in a straight line, he's gonna hook you, and if you don't walk in a straight line, he's gonna power fist you and then hook you. So a lot of people don't realize that, especially in solo queue, man, because I've been playing a lot of Mordekaiser Blitzcrank. People just feed against that shit all the time because they just don't know what to do. They're like, Mordekaiser's coming at me. I'm going to fight him, I guess, even though he's got ninja tech. Oh shit, I don't do any damage. And now the Blitzcrank's right on top of me and I'm just dead in one hit. So I don't think Blitz is that good, honestly. I think that I'd rather have 9 times out of 10, I'd rather have Thresh than Blitzcrank. I don't think the only time I'd rather have Blitzcrank is if I'm playing Mordekaiser, but that's just my opinion. What do you think of Blitz, though? You say you play against him a lot.
I just think it's really, he exploits solo queue so hard. He's one of the champions where it's just like, oh my god. Because if he wins bot lane, or if it's even, what Scrandor does a lot of times is he runs mid, like all the time. Actually, level 4, right side mid lane with boots first item buy is something that I'm just like, every Blitzcrank player is going to do. To the point, and then sometimes he just tower dives me at level 4 if I'm shoved in. And I'm just like, wait a sec, what? I think that he's similar to like stuff like Hecarim, he's just like dumpster solo queue. And in competitive, I think he's only really good into stuff like Janna.
Yeah, like
Janna Blitz has always been like a really good matchup for Blitz. Everything else is too difficult.
Yeah, anything without like offensive abilities, Blitzcrank has a lot of trouble with. So like Janna, Soraka, or the champions have a lot of trouble against Blitzcrank. Janna, Soraka, I think those are honestly the only champs that don't really have any way of like being offensive.
Yeah, and it's like that's about it. So you could get away with some of the champions, but it's really difficult, I think. But in ranked, it's no problem. That's why everyone asks me, dude, why don't we see more Hecarim in LCS? I'm just like, well, probably because in LCS the Hecarim's not going to start 3-0 at 8 minutes.
Yeah. He's not going to have his Triforce by 8 minutes, just running you down. Yeah. Let me go to the next one. Ghost Crawler stated in an interview with Yahoo, I think the real solution to the AD carry problem, geez, you're just doing all AD carry today, man, is dramatically changing an early item or adding an item claiming he doesn't want to buff ADs across the board. Is this correct? Yeah, I think that if ADs had like a mid-game item, like they've tried it before and they've just fucked it up. I remember when I was still playing the LCS, they had Essence Reaver and they wanted it to be like a mid-game item, so they made it like a cheap item. I don't remember what exactly it did. I just remember I was like, this is a good concept for an item, but it's never going to work until you get rid of the mana because it's fucking worthless early game. It's like too expensive and it gives too much mana and not enough like offensive power. And then they just ended up reworking it to not a mid game item, but like a late game item. So it's just like, I don't know if they really want mid game or early game items for ADs because they've had the opportunity to do it. Like they had the other one that they used to have was Spirit of the Elder Lizard. That was such a good fucking item for ADs early game. Like,
wait, that was the jungle item.
It was the jungle item, but it was like you'd build it on ADs and it'd just be so good because it was like a 2,300 gold item that just gave you offensive stats. It had like health regen, mana regen because it was a jungle item.
It was broken though.
Okay, it was broken, but I'm saying it could have been like repurposed into something that wasn't just a completely broken piece of shit. Instead, they just deleted the item altogether. But like those kinds of concepts for items are like really good for ADs, and people like I'd love to have an item like that, but I don't know. Every time an item like that's come about, they've just deleted it. So.
Yeah, I definitely think this goes back to our old statement where it's like we can only have these types of items like if other characters can't abuse it. Because it's like, wow, dude, I'm sure this AD would love this one stat stick that's like, oh, it gives you a lot of AD and it gives you like maybe like a little bit of regeneration and a little bit of like something else, like health. And it's like, wait, why is Pantheon using my item? Wait, why is Zed using my item? And so I think if they really wanted to do like this early game stuff, because they don't consider lethality like this. Like lethality for them is not like the early game item they want. It's like a separate itemization.
Yeah, I don't understand why they don't consider lethality. Like that's the thing is I don't understand Riot's like thought process because again, there's been like another one was Wriggle's Lantern. That item was fucking amazing. Like when you think of why ADs used to be like the golden age of AD, there's so many early game items that ADs could build and they just weren't fucking worthless the entire game. Like I don't understand why they think lethality shouldn't be built for ADs. Like I don't know what the problem is with
I think it's more along the lines of lethality is not the early game item they're looking at because it's supposed to be like kind of a more of like I don't exactly know. I watched the part about the interview where he was talking about this and I was just like I was a little bit confused exactly where he wanted the itemization route to go. If it wasn't going to be lethality, because the early game option before was armor pen, right? They nerfed that shit into the ground, replaced it with lethality, and it's kind of the early game option, but that's not what he wants. And so I just think it's really difficult to have an early mid game item that's not bought by every single AD carry. Like let's say they give you something that's like armor or like flat lifesteal and AD. That's it. That's all it had on it.
Yeah, everyone will fucking buy it. You buy that like top lane, you go out that on Fiora, dude. Like,
yeah. I think the only way it's possible is if it's like.
I don't know why they don't just make it class specific. Like, I know that they don't want to do that, but like it's gonna get to a point where you just have to do it because I mean, realistically, yeah. If you want to give ADs like an item that gives them like a little bit of help getting into their mid game, like AD and crit. Okay, Yasuo's gonna build that every single game now. Like Yasuo is basically one of those champions. He wants everything an AD wants, and he's gonna use it even more efficiently than AD would. So like, if you make an item for an AD, Yasuo's probably gonna end up using that shit. And there's a lot of like brawler, I guess not brawlers, but like duelist top lane that probably want a lot of AD. Like if they don't have crit, they probably want a top lane too. So like they made Titanic and Runon's class specific. I don't know why they wouldn't be willing to make more items class specific.
Yeah, I definitely think it's the way to go. I think that plus the Ninja Tabi nerf, and after the last patch, I actually thought the game state's pretty good. They nerfed a lot of big problematic stuff like across the board. In like all the lanes, and outside of Ninja Tabi being a little bit too strong, very strong, super OP.
Yeah, it's not a little bit. It's way too fucking
No,
strong.
legit, every AD in my games are building it. It's not even on like Jin Ezreal anymore. It's like I saw Kog'Maw built it last game. I was just like, wait a second.
Yeah,
what?
that's the scripter build right there, man. That's what I started copying. Dude just builds Ninja Tab. That's how I got I was on the Ninja Tabbies hype like 3 months ago because I played with that scripter and I was like, wait, this guy, he's so smart, dude. AD's like, you can't do anything versus Ninja Tab. Like, the only thing you have to worry about is getting auto-attacked, and if you can't get auto-attacked, then you can just dodge everything. So, hey, shout-outs to whoever that scripter was. I don't remember his name, though. See, there's some good that comes from scripting, man. It's not.
Please don't shout out scripters on our show, dude.
Fair enough. But yeah, I agree with you. I think the game state's pretty good right now. Like, I actually really enjoy bottom lane. I think that it's pretty refreshing to like be able to play things other than Jhin and Varus and not just get smacked around the entire game. So, I don't know. I'll have to wait and see how it pans out. Maybe it's just everyone's trying to try something different and see how the stuff works, and it's just the same old shit. Everyone's just gonna play Jhin and Varus every game, but I mean, it's pretty fun right now with no one playing them, so I like it.
Alright, dude. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's go on then. Alright, so next topic, talk to me about the 2 new Keystones, Warlords and Pact. I don't know.
These are things you have to fill me in on because like I don't use either of these mid lane.
Yeah, so I know I've been trying out Pact. Tarzan, I played a game against him. He went Nunu with what is it, Bond of Stone?
Yeah, it's Stoneborn, Stone something Pact. Whatever, I just call it Pact.
Yeah, okay. He went that thing, and he went Nunu with a Titanic Hydra. It actually was good as fuck, and I've been trying it out, and it's actually really good on Nunu. I really like it a lot. I think on Olaf it's pretty good. I think in bot lane it's just shit because it gives like no health. Like I've seen Thresh try it out. I mean it's 5% life. Thresh starts with like 700 health, so he gets like it's like 35 health level 1. That's not too bad, but you can just get that from Courage of the Colossus proc. And it's a shield that's spammable, so it's a lot better for you dueling. The only thing that'd make it better is if you get it also gives you health on CC, but it's halved for ranged champions, so when Thresh flays someone, it gives you a rune that heals you for, I think it's like 10 health early game over 2 seconds that you can use once. So, yeah, it's pretty fucking bad in that regard. Like, the way I look at it, yeah, I think it's just garbage, honestly. The way I look at it is I'm pretty sure this thing is just like Riot's like subtle way of like adding back in Strength of the Colossus or Strength of Ages. This is like just their little clever way of like trying to get around like, shit, we had to get rid of it. Better put it back in this way, dude. Better add some worthless shit so no one complains about it. Like, I don't know. Have you said you haven't played with it yet?
I've played a little bit with like bot lane, but I like played Blitz with it and I was like, it doesn't seem very good. It seems like, what would I use it on, right? It would just be Kench. I think Kench has no problem with, in the current meta, playing, even with Colossus. And I think that he is just like a good champion in general. Outside of Kench, I don't see another bot lane who really would play it. Like maybe Braum, but when you proc his thing, he automatically gets Colossus anyways. And so, none of the all-in supports want it, because they'd rather take Colossus. And it's really just an Olaf jungle item. Or mastery. That's what it seems like.
I'm convinced this is just Riot's like little clever way of adding back in Strength of the Ages. Like I'm calling this shit right now. Like I know that the Riot like head of balance, he was like, this is my baby. He probably spent his whole like lifetime creating Strength of the Ages. Riot Games removed it, and then he spent the rest of his fucking days like trying to figure out a way to put that shit back in the game. And that's how we got to this garbage here. Because I don't think it's a support mastery. Maybe I'm wrong and Thresh wants it.
I think it's supposed to be, but
yeah,
I don't.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be too, but you just can't get enough health. Like I don't see in what world you'd rather have the like extra 5% health over the like Courage of the Colossus proc, because you'll get it off of 2 people bot lane always.
I think it's mainly for the fact that it gives the AD carry more sustain options, especially with Warlords being 1% lifesteal level 1. Actually, dude, skip this. Dude, talk to me about Warlords. I've seen Warlords Jhin recently, and they're telling me it's like, oh, it's great out of lane. I've seen some Warlords with some funky stuff.
Yeah, I think Warlords isn't that bad. So the way it works is it's like a static shift proc where you have to like move around, cast abilities or attack, and you charge it up. And then once you get to 100, it gives you like 1 to 50% lifesteal on your next attack and 30% move speed. The lifesteal is fucking worthless, but the movement speed, it's basically like Storm Raider Surge, but you get lifesteal, which is kind of nice. So I actually really like it a lot. I think that the movement speed's pretty fucking busted on it. The lifesteal is whatever, because realistically, what ADs have one impactful auto attack? It's basically just Jhin. So
I think it's Jhin and Draven, and that's it.
Yeah, I wouldn't even run. I'm pretty sure I'd rather run Fervor on Draven than Warlords, but I think it's really good, not because like it helps anyone, because I don't think that it's that good, honestly. But I think it's really good because now you can't just get away with playing like bitch lanes like Caitlyn and just AFKing on the turret, just farming, because you're gonna lose your lane if you just try to just farm it out. Because before, if you get poked, it's like, whatever, dude, I'm just gonna sustain with Warlords. It's all good. And so that made champions like Lucian, like Draven, things that they have to basically 100 to 0 you, or they're gonna lose their lane, because they're gonna take free aggro to get a good trade in, and then you're just gonna get smashed because the Caitlyn just heals back to full life. So in that regard, I think that the Warlords change is really good. I just can't see it like, I mean, I guess it's not bad on Ashe too, but her like one auto attack isn't going to heal her for that much. It's just for the movement speed, which is really nice. Again, like, I think that just the movement speed alone makes it really fucking good, because that movement speed, like as an AD player, it can't be like stated enough how important having movement speed is. Like, you're seeing so many Kog'Maws with Storm Raider Surge. It doesn't give you any offensive capabilities, but it just makes it so you will dodge every skill shot thrown at you. Like, it is fucking impossible to hit Kog'Maw. If he has boots too and Storm Raider's active, like, he's going at like 700 move speed. He's just flying around fucking everywhere, dude. So I think that makes it really good. I think that it was a good nerf though to Warlords, because it was just too much of a generic master, like get out of jail free card, and I'm pretty happy about that one. I'm happy about that. You got anything on it?
Nah, dude, it sounds really good. I just wanted to ask you a lot of stuff about ADs, because this what all the stuff this week is just about AD changes, and like I'm just really interested.
Alright, fair enough then. Let's go to the next one. The new Galio rework has been announced, and he's turned into a guardian of justice. Are you excited? Dude, this rework, man, I actually didn't think Galio was like that bad. Like, I thought you could pick him as like a counter pick. Like, I've played him in solo queue, and he's not that bad into like heavy AP team comps and stuff. I don't know, man. I don't think that he need, like, what do you think of Galio? Like, you play mid lane. Do you think he needed a rework?
No, not really. It's just that they weren't able to give power to the champion, because the champ actually just sucks till he gets items. Like that's the biggest thing. He's supposed to be an anti-mage tank, right?
Yeah.
But he turns in. That's Kassadin. Kassadin's actually more anti-mage than Galio. Galio is literally just like a champion that can't do anything till he buys his first item, because his abilities cost a bajillion mana. And he just like sits there in lane and just like hopes he can poke you down. I thought that he wasn't really enjoyable to play because it took so long for him to get powerful. Unless you really liked his playstyle of just like farming for a little bit.
Dude, I loved his playstyle. I thought he was fun as fuck. I actually thought Galio had like an interesting kill. Like, his Q had like huge damage on it. His W.
Oh, yeah, no, his Q is 300 base ability with like a 0.9. It's like super
it's ridiculous.
Good.
Yeah, like his Q was ridiculous. His W was ridiculous. His E was kind of garbage. Like, the movement speed was just shit on it. But like, his ulti was amazing. His passive was worthless too. But I don't know. I mean, the new Galio looks cool, but I'm not excited for it because I was like, hey, why'd you nerf him? I like playing Galio. I mean, you really didn't like playing Galio? Dude, playing Galio against like AP heavy, like I loved playing Galio versus like Elise jungle, and then like if someone just picks some stupid shit mid like Xerath or just some trash mid laner, I just pick Galio. I'd face tank their bot lane, or I'd face tank their mid jungle duo and just like 1v9 the game. I just go death cap, flash ulti, and just kill everyone.
I think he was okay. You know, I thought that it just didn't feel like he was like an anti-mage caster. He was like a weird split between like a pokey mage and that stacked in Mar, and he was situationally good for sure, but I don't know. I just like the new Galio a lot more. Maybe because it just feels really bad right now to play mid laners who can't pressure that hard before.
Wait, but is he even
early backs?
Is he even a mid laner now? He looks like he's a support.
He's like a top laner, I think. Oh, and actually, his jungle speed is not bad too, because his Q does 300 base at level 1.
You've played him?
I saw his jungle clear. Someone's linked me the video, and his Q does 12% max health damage if they stay in a tornado. So, I don't know. He looks really enjoyable to play. Like I look at it and I'm just like, oh my god! It's because it's like you're diving bot lane as a jungler, and then you just get ultied by when you're diving, and he literally falls onto the bot tower that you're diving, and everyone on the tower explodes, like goes up. I think it looks super cool. I'm a sucker for superheroes. I like the theme, and I think he looks really interesting. I think he's a more unique champion than he was before. I don't think this champion needed a rework.
Wait, you think he's more unique? I feel like he's just turned into he's just a generic superhero. Like I like the gargoyle concept of Galio, with I don't know, I thought he was interesting. Now he's just he's some stupid tank superhero. He's just gonna fucking just face tank shit now. I don't know, man. I guess we're on differing ends of this one, because I guess I just have to wait and see. But it just feels like looking at his kid, he just looks like he's gonna be a support. He's just gonna be like a fucking brainless, just okay, I'm just gonna peel for you here. But yeah, maybe
we'll see.
Yeah, maybe he'll be an awesome champion. We'll see. We'll go to the next one. Exhaust has finally been nerfed. What has changed because of this?
We kind of talked a little bit about this earlier.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the exhaust nerf because again, it's just opened up so many other ADs to be played. Things with short range don't absolutely get destroyed now if they want to play aggressive, because they'll just get exhausted. And it still fulfills the purpose of if you're against Zed and you exhaust his death mark, he isn't gonna. I mean, he's still probably gonna insta kill you, but maybe you'll survive it still. The attack speed didn't really bother Zed that much, so I don't know. I'm pretty happy with the exhaust.
I think for mid lane it had a pretty big impact, because even before, people weren't taking exhaust, and we're moving away from exhaust a little bit. Faker against Talon took barrier actually, and so the mid lane summoner exhaust isn't super good even into assassins anymore, or especially not into the stupid melee. The ranged mid laners. You used to take exhaust into Corki and Jace and stuff like that. So I think barrier and heal become much more tempting options, and TP for mid laners now. And I like it. It doesn't feel like exhaust is I'm just gonna pick, if I don't know what to pick, I'll pick exhaust because it's always gonna be good. I hate that.
Yeah.
I think that now there's options, and when I play bot lane, I just go ignite more than half the games now, because I'm just I think I can kill this bot lane. I don't feel bad for taking it. Whereas before, I felt like I was a liability if I took it and we didn't kill the lane in 8 minutes.
Yeah, it just felt so bad bot lane, because when I played support, I'd go the summoner cooldown reduction, and then I'd rush lucidity boost, so my exhaust is on a 2-second cooldown. I would just force all ins 24/7 and just exhaust the AD, and then it's alright, you killed me, dude. You got me. I got exhausted and I don't have flash. It just felt so fucking stupid to play against it with all the cooldown reduction you could get for summoner spells. So I'm pretty happy with the nerf. I'm excited that they looked into it, and I'm hoping that they look in the Ninja Tag. Like, the thing that got me so excited about them nerfing exhaust is, like, a lot of people have been talking about it, and, like, even though people talk about it, like, Riot doesn't really take action usually, or the way that it's been recently, they haven't been doing shit. So, like, a lot of the changes that have happened recently, like, it's like, yes, dude, they're listening. They're gonna buff ADCs. They're gonna nerf Ninja Tabbies. They're finally listening to us, dude. So.
Oh, actually, have you seen what Meddler's been doing recently?
No.
This probably should have been a separate topic by himself. On the League of Legends official forums, he posts gameplay thoughts, which are like his thoughts about like the current state of the game almost every day. And it's like 1 to 2 to 3 paragraphs of his thoughts about the game. And he literally does it almost every day. And it's like the connection between like the developer who's trying to balance the game and like the common masses. And I think it's great for them to communicate like that. I also think it gives them more pressure because it's now a burden for them, because if they promise something, which they promised to fix the AD carry role, right? If they don't deliver it in like a couple weeks, it's like a couple months, it's gonna look really bad.
I mean, I think they're already doing a pretty good job. Like, I'm pretty happy. Like, normally I'm like, fuck Riot Games, dude, fuck everybody. Like, great job, dude. Like, you've been killing. Like, this patch was great. Like, you just fucking butchered LeBlanc. You butchered A-Try. I mean, he didn't need to get butchered for me, but I appreciate you butchering him too. Like, it just feels good seeing other things get butchered other than my role, dude. So that shit's like, keep it up, Riot. I like that.
Oh yeah, when you know it's a problem when the LeBlanc W does less damage than our auto at level 1.
Dude, I've read that LeBlanc changed, and I swear to God, I thought I was like stupid or something. Like, I was reading it. Wait, her W does 40 damage from 80. Like, wait, let me check. Wait a minute. At level 5, it went from like, what? It went from like
40 to 140, I think, from like 280. I was like, what the
Yeah, like that change, like, I haven't seen a change like that in a while. I was just like, wait a minute, like, they must have got these numbers wrong here. Like, they meant 240, not 140. But
yeah, they don't want the champion to exist. And I thank God they nerfed that and Ryze at the same time, which Ryze I hear is still a good champion, even after this nerf. And I'm just like, whatever, man. At least it was big enough to be noticeable.
Yeah, like, I don't want the champion to exist either, so good shit on that, right? Alright, let's go on then. The final topic. The live question and answer session, Scar. You ready for it?
Oh, dude, I'm so ready.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hop on the Discord. You got questions, we got answers. Let me pick them out.
Wait, where'd you go?
I got
Where'd he go?
What happened? I had to turn the lights on for this one just to make sure. Got to get my reading glasses on, lights on. Let me see some good questions here, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll start off with. Okay, Epic Scrub Lord, we'll just go on this topic again. Do you think the Doublelift trade to Team Liquid is a bit sketchy?
No.
You have no problems with it?
I think it's one of the most normal things possible. In terms of like, in any level of possibility, or like, of business, it's like just normal. It's not even on like the shady end of normal. It's just normal.
Okay. There's Scar's opinion.
It would be a different thing if he was an active sub and playing alternating games with the team. He is a streamer who only plays League, streaming in like Australia or something.
Alright, fair enough. My man Krusty Donuts, he wants to know the consensus between you boys was Blitz is only good, or Mort is only good with Blitz, but do you think we'll see any Leona played with him? What needs to change with her kid to see a rise in viability? Leona is like, that champion is the definition of feast or famine. Like, when you get the all-in, the jungler is there or he's not there. You're either going to die on the all-in or you're not going to die on the all-in. So, honestly, maybe she might see some more play. Because, again, I think that a lot of mages have been getting nerfed. So, tanks are going to become a lot better for bottom lane. And I don't think that she's terrible. I just think that the problem is that you need to do a lot of setup for Leona to not have a bad laning phase, because once she starts falling behind, like if you can't face tank the enemy bot lane, you ought to lost the game because she's just worthless. Like you won't be able to all in people and you're just gonna die every time. So I don't think that Leona is that good, but maybe she'll see some play. What do you think, Scar?
The last time Leona was meta, people picked Leona into stuff like Annie support. So other supports that are like fairly squishy mages where by being able to tank their initial burst, they can't move and you can kill them. I think, however, that era is kind of past. Now the mage supports are also tanky and can harass. Like Karma, if you go in on Karma, then like...
you just mantra W you and she just face tanks like you're...
Exactly. And your competition is the other melee supports, right? Think of what, like, are you better than the other melee supports? For the most part, no. Like, Braum and Kench are the two that I think of right now. And it's like, they're great supports. Like, Kench lane's great. He has very unique utility. And then Braum is just like a monster being able to defend his AD. Like, if you go in on Braum, he'll just block the shots. And so I think that her competition just got too good recently. And that she's got nerfed too much.
Yeah, cause like, if you want Leona for damage, like there's a lot of other melee supports that do like equally as much damage as Leona. Like she has a lot of lockdown, but again, it's tied to the fact that she has to put herself in harm's way. And more often than not, you don't want to have to put yourself in harm's way to do, like, why play her when you could just play something like Thresh that can stand in the back, throw a hook out. If you hit it, great. If you don't, that's great too. With Leona, if you hit your E, it's just, please don't be jungle down here. Please don't be setting up for a gank on me. So, yeah, this is my opinion. But maybe we'll see her some more. Let's see. So Devin, on the whole idea of class-specific items, if they do want to have an early/mid-game item for ADs, but they don't want everybody to buy it, could they do the same thing they did with Runons, make it ranged only? It would make it so only really ADs buy it. Yeah, that's what we talked about. I think that it has to be, like, obviously you don't want marks, like, there's no way to enforce this is a marksman item because, like, what defines a marksman? So I don't know about making it that. It'd just be ranged and melee champion. And then just to like weed it out, like I would just classify Jace as a melee champion, Nidalee as a melee champion. Like all those champs are just fucking melee for the sake of those items. But that's me on it. Let me see. My man Atrix wants to know. I'm a cutie pie and Scar, but I'm gonna shoot this one to you, Scar. What were your all-time worst patches in League that you've witnessed?
Oh God, all-time worst patches. I just remember the Black Cleaver patch. That was the patch where I enjoyed it, but like that's because I played the assassins who stacked like 3 Black Cleavers, but. For everyone else, and for Keely who played the AD role, probably not enjoyable to get hit with a guy with like 2 cleavers or 3 cleavers. It was pretty dumb.
Yeah, it's pretty lame. I can agree with that one. That patch was terrible. Shadow Stride 143 wants to know, question for Scar, if Cutie and Doublelift went back to the LCS, who would perform better? Now keep in mind, I'm rank 9 and Doublelift's rank 14. He's 200 points below me. I'm just going to throw that one out there.
I think it depends on the support.
What kind of loser answer is that, Scar?
Alright. Kitty would get shit on by Doublelift, it wouldn't be close.
Okay, but did you hear me on the start of it? I'm 200 points above. Now, rethink that answer, Scar. Who would get shit on? Sky, there's nothing to think about. Open up your League of Legends client. Look at the ladder. Who's number 9?
Okay, by ladder ranking, you may have the edge. I think Double is pretty good.
Okay, Sky, you're off the show. Sky, that's the last straw, man. You're out of here now.
Dude, come on. I think you're pretty good too, man.
All right, I'll let it slide. I'll let it slide. Captain Trips, this is a question about us, man. Were your parents supportive of your gaming career initially? How about siblings? My parents had no problem, man. Because I mean, as a kid growing up, all I did was play video games. So they thought that I was just gonna grow up to be like a degenerate, fucking good for nothing. So the fact that I ended up like being able to play video, they were like, "Hey, that's great, man. Hope you do your best at it, and hope all that shit works out for you." They're pretty supportive on it. I had no problems with my parents.
For my parents, at first, like they're very typical Asian parents. I had two options when I grew up, or three, sorry, doctor, lawyer, and I had a third option, which is astronaut. Well, none of those happened. And eventually my parents kind of got more toward the idea that like, they know if I really enjoy something and I put my time into it, that I'll be good at it. And so like, they kind of just supported me whenever I did. So they're really supportive, and I love my parents that they were able to support me the way that they did, because I know a lot of parents who did not.
Alright, fair enough. Let me see. My man, we'll go with, Lust Female. Do you see Piglet staying mid for long or heading back to Korea after Team Liquid crashes and burns? I don't think Team Liquid's going to crash and burn. I'm pretty sure they're going to do pretty well, but do I see Piglet staying mid for Team Liquid? Yeah, I don't see why not, unless they kicked them off.
I just think it's funny. Like, Team Liquid went full circle where they had Phoenix, and then they replaced them with Golden Glue, who then got replaced by Piglet. So, I think Phoenix is a better mid laner than Piglet is right now. But Piglet might actually be a more proactive player, which is pretty funny. And so,
yeah, he runs so much. He does so much.
Yeah, I think if Piglet actually like starts playing the role well, he could be like a middle of the pack mid laner, which is better than I expected. Yeah, way better than I expected.
I can agree with that. I think if Piglet actually learns how to play mid lane, like he has like the ideas down, but he definitely has trouble executing like laning phase and that kind of shit. So I think if he plays more mid lane, he'd be pretty decent, I think, in my opinion. But I could definitely see if he doesn't perform, I feel like a good move would just be replace him with a Korean mid laner that actually plays middle. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. My man wants to know, Hulk, is there any chance that crit build ADCs are going to make a comeback this patch? I definitely think so. Ashe is she's probably one of the best ADCs. Or she was one of the best ADCs last patch, and she does crit build. She's fantastic for late game carrying. A lot of the things that built without, like Deathfire Touch got nerfed, Misfortune got nerfed, Varus got nerfed. Jin's still pretty good, but I think that the matchup versus Ashe is pretty good for Ashe. Or it's like a skill matchup, so I think that crit build ADCs could make a comeback right now. You got any opinions, Scar?
I just want to see what the game looks like when Tabby's nerfed. That's it. Like,
yeah,
if
Tabby's getting nerfed, it's gonna be like everything that I said. Just throw it in the trash can, dude.
Like, I think once Tabby gets nerfed, I really want to see what the meta picks are.
Yeah, I think it'll be fucking interesting. My man Best LOL wants to know thoughts on the Aatrox changes.
Holy shit! Yeah, just tell me he got nerfed. He got like gutted.
I think I saw that there's like a Reddit thread that said his win rate went from like 51% at D1 plus to 34%. Like, that's a pretty not good win rate in my opinion. Like, I don't know much about win rates, but 34% is pretty god awful. So, do you know what changed with him, Scar?
Yeah, I ended up like talking about it on the patch. They took away a lot of his AD scaling, and then what happened was they made it so that his abilities don't cost health anymore, except for one. So his Q doesn't cost 10% of his health, which is great, right? That's really good. And his W healing now gives him 5% of his missing health instead of a flat amount, which is great. Like, I think that's excellent. But they nerfed his damage on like all this stuff. Like, they nerfed his like E damage and they nerfed his W damage.
They nerfed his like revive too. Like I'm not sure how it works, but it's like
if his passive isn't full, he doesn't revive or something like that.
So it's like he has like 4-second windows where he'll revive after he builds up his passive. And it's just like, what the fuck? Like, what sense does this shit make? Like, he's just gonna get blown up.
I think if they just buffed his W and removed the health cost, it would have been fine. Like, he as a champion is fine. But they nerfed too much about him with it. And so whereas, like, you can't build damage because you can't split push. Now you used to be a lifesteal split push. That's it. That's your only job. Now you can't even do that, and you're not really tanky. So I feel kind of bad.
Yeah, like I just looked at these changes. I was like, dude, who could look at these changes and be like, this shit sounds great, dude. Like, what a fantastic champion. It's just like, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they're like laying the foundation down with this shit. Like this isn't gonna be it. They're like,
I mean, they're just gonna leave it there for like what, till he gets like reworked, or they're like slowly gonna build him up to a point where they're gonna rework him or do something with him. But usually the way they do reworks is they just like leave him there in the gutter until they do reworks. Like stuff like Warwick, stuff like Aatrox, stuff like old Vlad, old Yorick, all this stuff just left in the gutter at like very bottom of the tier champions in terms of strengths until they can rework him. Because it's better that they have like a terrible champion.
This is Aatrox, dude. He's been left in the gutter for a while.
Yeah, so just leave him in there for a little bit longer and then figure out make him like bump him up. Like I think he should have had priority over Galio in terms of rework.
Yeah, I don't know why the fuck they reworked him before Aatrox.
Like I thought Warwick deserved a rework, right? The champion itself, you press one button playing the champion.
Yeah.
Like, but Aatrox should have been the next one, and then I'm down for Galio. Like, I like the rework, but I don't think the priority should have been in that order.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they touch Aatrox after this patch, because, I mean, if they just leave him how he is, I'm pretty sure he's in a lot worse of a spot than he was before, but, we'll see. I mean, maybe he's just OP as fuck. Who knows? Let's see. Next question. At Scar, since I don't play mid lane, my man Vild Vitra wants to know, what mid lane mages do you think will be brought to light with the LeBlanc nerfs? Will still like Vel'Koz be good, for example?
Sorry, you cut off a little bit during the middle. What did you say?
So, what mid lane mages do you think will be brought to light with the LeBlanc nerfs? Will stuff like Vel'Koz be good?
The biggest thing is that Ori takes her place as one of the best mid laners. I think Ori and Jace are like the two best mid laners in the game now, with Ryze still being playable. And so with that coming up, that's when Ahri comes in. Cause I think that Ahri is only good into Ori was only good into Ori, and then they like gutted Corki, they gutted LeBlanc, they nerfed Ryze, and they nerfed Jace. So now Ahri's like main competition got nerfed to the ground for the most part, and Ori remains with Cassio as like the sole survivors. Well, with so much Ori priority and Ori beating Cassio as like a slightly soft counter, like I think that a lot of teams are just playing Ahri a lot more, and she is like the premier ranged AP assassin that's going to come up because of all these nerfs.
All right, fair enough. We'll go the final question, ladies and gentlemen. So let me pick a good one for you. We'll go with the final question. My man, okay, Rababook wants to know, hey Kitty, do you think the changes to Blade of the Rune King, we could see Kalista coming back into the meta / competitive play? I think those you know what the Blade of the Rune King changes were?
Oh yeah, they're Ezreal buffs and Lucian buffs, that's it.
Yeah, I don't think that Blade of the Rune King's still like that good. Do you think it's a lot better?
I think just stated wise, the cost efficiency went up for sure, statistically. However, the active doesn't, it's 100 damage active.
Yeah, that shit's worthless. Like, people were telling me, like, yeah, it's like the Gunblade for ADC. It does so much damage now. It's like, it's 100 fucking damage. Like, they might as well have not put damage on it.
Yeah, when I buy Gunblade on Cat, it's like part of my damage rotation. But Bork is like a little tiny tap on the shoulder.
Yeah, like it just like fucking deflects off them, dude. Like 100 damage versus like a Renekton. Like it used to do 10% of someone's max life. Now it does fucking 100 damage. Like that.
I think the item got better for certain champions. Like Lucian Ezreal definitely got better for, right?
Yeah.
And then for champions which rely on the attack speed.
Yeah, I think Kallista's shit now without that.
Yeah, I thought Kallista's one of those champions that love the attack speed, right? Similar to Kog'Maw. I think after they got nerfed, like Bork isn't that great on either or as good as the old one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that, it was just a shift in power, which I mean is fine, but for your question, is Kalista going to be more relevant now with the Bork changes? Hell no. I think she's actually going to be less relevant with them. But yeah, we'll see how that pans out, because also you have to keep in mind, like, the thing with Kalista is you can also max your Q instead of your E. So like with more AD on it and like a little bit of attack speed, it might be better to max Q. There's a lot of things.
Shit. And they rebuffed her E. Actually, that's true.
Yeah.
Maybe she just goes back to like just AD stacking. That'd be really, really interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. Like Kalista is just one of those champions where there's a lot of ways to play her. And honestly, I was gonna play her today, but I just have more fun things. Like I don't think Kallista's that fun to play because I think she's terrible. But I'm gonna be trying her out more, and I can give you a better opinion on that probably when I play her. But I think that it doesn't help her that much. Is my initial thought on it, but that's it. And that's going to be it for the Beyond the Rift today. That's going to conclude our question and answer segment, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you for tuning in today. Scar, if they want to see more of you, where can they find you?
They can find me right after this on my Twitch, twitch.tv/Scar. I'll be streaming from here till like 9 p.m. Other times you can just go look at my Twitter. I'm Scar on there as well. I'll be releasing. You can find all the content somewhere that I release on there because I'll be tweeting about it. Anyways, yeah, I'm good. Thank you guys for watching this show.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Hey, it's all good, dude. This guy trying to be the host, man. The host with the most, but that's me, baby. If you guys,
I'm sorry, dude.
Hey, don't sweat it, man. If you guys liked it, every Thursday, same time, 5 p.m. EST, tune in. We got a plethora of knowledge to spread on to young pupils looking to acquire said knowledge. So definitely tune in if you got the time. But that's going to conclude Beyond the Rift. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and I hope to see you next time.